So recently you've been consuming this magical juice that you get in San Francisco in like this special type of stores. And these juices have like a special magical potion within them that make you have little red Chinese eyes. Is that what you were saying to me?
No, 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 no.
That's pretty
What are you
much
talking about again?
That was pretty much what you explained to me. Welcome to the Broski Dills podcast, the best podcast in all the land. It's your boy Kiko Flo, Kiko Cervantes. And like always, next to me, holding me tight in my plums, is Chef Maurice, one of the best chefs in the world. Food patterns, culinary documentaries. This motherfucker has done it all. If you know who Anthony Bourdain is, this guy taught Anthony Bourdain all the things he knew.
It's just a part where I just like show you my junk and you start doing your thing.
You could do that. I mean, that's
okay.
totally uncalled for. But yeah, I mean, this is how he got to the top. You know, being unconventional. Today, you're rocking, if I'm not mistaken, the Colorado Rockies.
That's right. That's right.
Hat. As you all know, Chef Maurice likes to rock a different baseball hat. Or sometimes it's not baseball, but most of them are baseball based. Okay, so let's get right to it. Former President Trump, possibly the next president as well, was
Possibly.
yeah,
I think he already won.
yeah. I mean, there was an attempt to take his life. This is crazy. When this happened, I felt like I was in a movie. I still feel like I'm in a movie. It's crazy. Then, of course, the famous picture of him getting up with his fist in the air saying, fight, fight.
Fight.
Where, when you saw that, you're like, okay, yeah, this guy just won it, right? I love the fact that Trump, even after going through that, as soon as he felt like, okay, I'm alive, I didn't die, he right away knew, okay, I have to use this as a moment to push the campaign, which I don't blame. I mean, of course, do it. But where were you when you found out this news? How did you find out about the news?
I was at the park. I was at the park with my youngest. Actually, it's the only one I had. Anyways, we were at the park, and I have one of my friends like, "Oh, did you see what happened to Trump?" I'm like, "No," and that person never answered. That person never answered back. So I'm like, "Did this guy die?" I mean, I was not expecting what happened to have happened,
It's
and I had to look
insane.
it up.
Did you watch the videos? I bet.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You think what would have happened if they killed him? Do you think there would have been some sort of chaos in the U.S. right now?
I read a lot that we missed a civil war by inches.
Man, that was insane. One thing that I'm very weary about is a lot of the media. In Spain, a lot of the media is left. So you see this here. But also the media in the US, a lot of it is left. The Spanish media in the US, like Telemundo, Univision, they're very left. And every time they would talk about the news, they would throw some dirt on Trump in a situation where, like, you should just speak about what happened and that's it. Like, they were like, so Trump, while he was being shot, he was talking like his usual rhetoric where he wants to, send immigrants back and
Pulitzer Prize-winning photographer for
calling
the New
them
York Times,
criminals.
Doug Mills, is where he often is when news is happening in the front row.
Okay, sorry.
Is
I don't
that
know what the fuck happened.
is that part of the news?
I was looking at a video of the photographer, how he got that picture where you can see the bullet.
I bet he got paid a lot for that picture.
It's going to be one of those historic pictures for sure.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna be
think
a historic picture.
in 20, 30 years, maybe less, our children are going to see that picture in the history books just like we saw. This is, I think what you said about being in a movie, it feels that way because we never experienced this in our lifetime, right? I think the latest one was like Ronald Reagan in the 80s, that the person didn't shoot him. He shot him, but he didn't get killed. But we weren't either in the U.S. or we weren't alive by then. So when you said it feels like a movie, it feels that way because we always saw like JFK and Lincoln and all this stuff that happened in the past, and now it's happening in our lifetime.
In our time.
in our time where we understand what's happening. Because maybe if we're 13, 14, it's like whatever.
And
But
in a
now that we're at
very
age,
and it's happening in a very tense moment, right? So it
yeah.
made things even more tense. A lot of people, I mean, this is crazy. Like the amount of support that he's getting from people now in the famous sphere that don't even give a fuck anymore. Elon Musk. I mean, I think Elon Musk already was supporting him, but now even more. I think he sent them a bunch of money. Do you think this seals it? Like he's gonna win now?
It it feels that way, right? It feels like, oh, this guy's a patriot. Be this guy like withheld or withstood a shooting, and I mean, just yeah, I think this is gonna just
All right, let's
hand
see.
them the win
Let
right
me ask you
now.
a question. People sometimes in the comments they say, "Is Chef Maurice a man that risks it and tells his tale? You know, tells what he's feeling inside, or is he afraid?" So we'll see. I'm gonna ask you a question. You are normally more like a liberal fuck. You know, you're pro-abortion, pro illegal immigration and stuff. But now that you see what's happening, and what happened to Trump, does this, in a way, maybe you can explain it, maybe it's like not rational, but this does make you at least doubt or even think like, fuck, I think I'm gonna vote for this guy.
No, no, I mean, this doesn't make me vote for him.
Okay.
No, no. I mean, I wasn't gonna vote before, but now this is not like, oh,
This doesn't make a difference for you.
no, no,
Okay.
not
Okay.
really, not
You could
really.
see how it could make a difference for many other people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you see
For
the
sure.
impact that it has, but to you, it's not something that sort of shifts your thought.
Do you think that because he almost went through this, it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna vote for him? That doesn't
Well,
change.
Well, the thing is that alone, no. But the thing is that sort of optimizes and boosts whatever thing was happening before. So Trump has been going through a lot of these obstacles where they take him to court, they try to take him to jail, and he keeps sort of getting out of it. And I mean, whether you like the guy or not, there is proof that a lot of these accusations and things that they've taken him through have been a bit unfair and not really correct to do, right? So I mean, we could go into that as a different debate, but we don't really we're not a podcast for that. But in general, that's what I've read and understood. So now this is like an extra level of obstacle. Like now they're trying to kill him. Now I don't think that like conspiracy theories are saying, oh, this is the Biden administration trying to take him out. I mean, there are some weird things. There are videos where they were telling the cops, hey, there's a guy at the roof and nobody did nothing. There's videos that show the snipers already pointing at the guy before they shoot Trump. So it leads you to believe, okay, why didn't they take him out before? I heard the Adam Carolla show where he said that he was told by people that know about this that you're not able to shoot at a person until they shoot. So, which seems a little bit counterproductive, right? You're trying to take him out before, but like he could be with the telescope instead of a rifle, and you just killed an innocent man. I don't know. There's a lot of talking between what happened there. I think it could just really be a crazy guy, and that's it. Like a 20-year-old crazy guy took his dad's gun. That's what happened, and that's it. But this does make the people feel, damn, if they want to kill this guy, whoever, for some reason that leads people to believe even more this guy should be the one. Because if they're trying to take him out, then he really is against the establishment, and he's going to shake things up in a way where he's going to take out all of these dinosaurs that are in Congress and actually bring change to the world. Do I think he's a savior of the U.S.? I mean, I don't think so. But I do think he's a lesser of two evils. I think people should vote for him. I mean, this is not a political podcast, and I don't really like being political on the podcast, but the way that things seem...
I think this is the second episode in a row that we talk about politics.
I mean, it is quite sort of in the nose.
It is
right
what's
now.
happening, right?
Yeah.
It is what's happening now. It's interesting to see that the polls didn't change that much from Saturday until today that we're recording.
How the fuck do they know what the polls are within 2 days?
Right. I don't know, but I'm guessing they keep asking people.
They just keep
I don't
phoning
know.
people. Hello.
Saying,
Hey, so how do you
"Who
feel
are you
about
about?"
today? Do you like him now or not? Like, is he cool? Is he a gangster? I mean, he's a little gangster. I mean, that's pretty gangster. But I still won't vote for him.
Did you see what 50 Cent did? I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
was perfect.
Yeah, 50 Cent, for people that don't know, he went into a concert and there's a song of him that's called Many Men. And the song goes, Many men, which death upon me, blood in my dog, and I can't see. So what happens is on the cover of that album, Get Rich or Die Trying, is 50 Cent looking all gangster. So he put Trump's face instead, put it in the background, and played it in the club or whatever he was doing the concert. Now, come to think of this, I mean, he openly supports Trump, 50 Cent, but he's gotten to the point where, like, in the past, people would be embarrassed to support Donald Trump because it looked bad. Now people don't give a fuck, bro. People are like, hey, whatever. You want to call me a racist? Okay, whatever. You're retarded. I'm not a racist. Am I a huge Trump supporter? No. There's a lot of things I don't like about the guy, but right now I think he's the best choice considering what's available. So yeah, I don't know. It was a crazy thing to see. Because of it, I was showing my girlfriend because she didn't know about like other president assassination attempts and assassinations. So we saw the tapes of the JFK assassination. Bro, that shit is heavy. That shit is heavy. It's a good shot. I mean,
He took his shot.
that was a hell of a shot. It was really long. It was like a kilometer.
Kilometer.
Or maybe a mile. Yeah, a kilometer. Yeah.
Kilometer.
It's like, no. This wasn't in Europe. This was in Houston, Texas, right?
Dallas, I think.
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas,
Okay.
Texas.
Yeah, they go by the miles. So this was like a mile. I think it was a mile, 1,000 feet or something. But it was brutal. And when you watch the one with Trump, you keep forgetting like that thing was millimeters from blowing his head like JFK.
And on live TV.
And on live TV.
Too.
That was insane. When I was like the whole night when I was watching it, because to me it was in the morning, like 2 in the morning. I couldn't stop like watching it, and I felt like exhilarating, but at the same time scared of what was happening. Like I couldn't stop watching. It was so entertaining, and at the same time I'm like, this is gonna change the world. Like there's gonna be a before and after. I don't know. I just think like we were used to the school shootings, and now I think it's shifted to like shootings of fucking presidents, and this is fucked, man. I don't like it at all. So yeah, I mean that part is bad. I'm really thankful that they didn't kill him. I mean, of course, because he's a human being that has a family, but because that would have also like made things really tense in the U.S. like in a way that we couldn't predict what could happen. So I'm glad that they didn't kill him. This is definitely gonna help him. It's gonna make him a martyr, and more people are gonna vote for him. I think even like Logan Paul came out and said something about it. Andrew Schultz, like a bunch of people are just like putting memes supporting the guy. And even if they're not supporting the guy, like if they're just doing it for the comedy, indirectly that's supporting the guy because you're giving it publicity. All the memes that make Trump look like a gangster, that's like the best publicity. Like you couldn't pay for a publicity of that magnitude. It just happens.
Now, we should think about conspiracies. Do you think maybe this was an inside job?
Okay, so that's what I was speaking about earlier. The inside job would be like Biden's people.
But what about his own people? Like self-inflicted.
I mean, at this time, we don't know anything. Anything could be real, but I mean, I just don't see the intent. Why would somebody within his own circle want to take him out?
Or maybe it was just aim at the ear, make it seem like...
No. That theory is a theory that I least think could happen. Like inside job meaning, okay, let's do like somebody's gonna shoot him, but we're gonna miss on purpose and just graze his ear. Like,
Right, but you'll never know it was intentionally missed.
yeah, bro, but if you were I mean, I don't know if you know how guns work. I don't know that much. I don't really, but I know enough to know that, yeah, I wouldn't take that risk. Like, you're gonna put your hands in the life of a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
That's half a mile away, and he's gonna play with the wind and shoot and make sure that you only get grazed and not killed. Like, that's impossible. Like, so that theory that they did it on purpose to make him look good, that's I take that out of the possibilities. It isn't. It isn't a possibility. The possibilities are, this is a crazy nut that just doesn't like Trump because, Trump grabs him by the pussy, or Biden's administration. Now, that second one, I feel that it's very unlikely. Like, even though I don't like Biden and the administration at all, I mean, that would mean like some very shady shit goes on. And I just don't like, I wouldn't want to think that that's the case. But yeah, I mean, the facts do say that apparently 2 weeks or some weeks before the event, Trump people were asking the Secret Service for more, like, support, more security, and the Biden administration denied it. Because, like, when you become a president, even when you're out, you still get protected by the Secret Service and shit. But apparently, Trump's people said that Biden wasn't sort of helping in them getting the security. So I don't know. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I'm sure they're investigating the shit out of this, and I bet Trump's people are looking into this. Like, there's been a few days that is quiet, but I'm telling you, they're looking into everything and seeing what the fuck happened there.
Yeah, probably find because I think they killed a guy, right? The
Yeah.
shooter. Find his background. Find, I don't know, start with families and people that surrounded him and see where that came from. Fuck. It has been an intense weekend.
Many events.
Everything, you know what? Everything started with the video of Obama recreating the Key and Peele.
Yeah.
It kind of all went downhill from there.
Yeah. By the way, where was that? He was where? It was like
So they are the NBA
Olympics.
is getting the Olympics. The U.S. is getting ready to go to Paris, and they were in Las Vegas, like playing and scrimmaging.
Look, I support, them, bapping each other up, and I felt that he overdid it, right? Like,
I think he knew what he was doing.
oh, okay. He knew, like,
Maybe he knew. He's like, let's recreate this because it was
because the thing
literally.
is, he even did the part where, like, he did it to the first one normal, and then the other one he's like, so. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't like Obama myself.
But it was a great video.
But in that moment, I wish I was a basketball player and he would dab me up like that.
That was great.
So
When
you're
was
saying,
that? Like Wednesday?
yeah, so you're saying like that peaked, and then after that, it was
peaked and
downhill.
everything downhill. We saw Saturday what happened with Trump, and then Sunday with like the Copa America shit.
Right. So for people that don't know, in Sunday there was the Euro Cup finals between England and Spain, which Spain won.
England, mate.
Spain won, of course, the motherland, motherfuckers. That's what's up. Spanish in the house. Spanish tortilla, croquettes. Yep, pretty much. And that went well. And then in the U.S., it was the final of the Copa America, which is the equivalent of the Euro Cup, but for the immigrants. For us, for our homelands, goddamn it, in the Americas. And it is a cup that the whole continent plays. So that's from Canada all the way down to Argentina, Chile. So what ended up happening is that the final was to be decided between Colombia and Argentina. And the stadium where this was played is the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, which used to be called the Pro Player, where the Marlins used to play, the Florida Marlins. And you and me used to go to those games when we were little guys, when we didn't have any hair in our genitalia. Very, very fun days. I'm fond of those memories. But in any case, what happened, and this was all over the news, Barstools even reported on it. Miami is a place that's filled with a lot of Latin people. And a lot of those Latin people are great people, like us. But then there's a minority that sometimes don't behave that well. Okay. So sadly, a bunch of people that didn't have tickets tried to get in the stadium, and a lot of them actually achieved it. So the stadium seats approximately 65,000 people, if I'm not mistaken. And then on top of that, who knows how many sneaked in. You can search online for videos of people breaking the tourniquets to get in. I don't see security anywhere. Like it was a scary setting. Even players were scared because their families couldn't get in. Most of the fans were from Colombia, but I think that's just a geographical thing. Like there's a lot more people living in Colombia, living from Colombia in Miami than Argentinians, even though there's a lot of Argentinians too. And yeah, it was a sad little detail before the game. Because of this, the game got delayed an hour and a half, which is very unusual, very uncommon. And I bet people outside that had tickets were like, fuck, the game's about to start and I'm not in. People get more nervous, more anxious, they start pushing. I'm fucking surprised that nobody got hurt. Seriously hurt. Like, because the images showed a lot of disorganization, a lot of wild people just running, trying to get in, people climbing fences, people like, to me, I felt like, how didn't they plan for this to be more secure? I just don't understand. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know how it works.
More police, more security.
Yeah, more security, more police. Yeah, and also
more rings.
Rings of security where like people couldn't pass a certain point, and also like secure the building. The building has to be like a fucking vault. And
It was funny because when we were watching it, the people on the TV kept saying that the stadium stewards were asking everybody to vacate the stadium, to leave so they can re-enter with their tickets and stuff. But sometimes when you scan your ticket, you can't re-enter. So how was that going to work?
Yeah, exactly. It would have looked like somebody already. Yeah, it was going to be a nightmare. But I'll be honest with you. I'm really pissed at this. I understand that there's people that are like, you don't understand the passion. I needed to get into that game. I don't care. I love my team. You're fucking it up for everybody.
Yeah.
There's two things here. One, when you have a bunch of people without tickets trying to get in, there's the unfairness of it. A bunch of people spend money. This happened on the Wembley game in London, the final between England and Italy, I think in 2021, in the Euro Cup final. This exactly like this happened. It wasn't as bad as this one. This seemed to be worse. But it was the same thing. They broke into the security. They breached in. And so obviously the unfairness, there's people that pay $2,000, $3,000 to go to the game. And then a bunch of people get in free. Some of them even take the seats of other people. So it's a whole issue. But then even worse than this, there's a security issue here. People could have been stomped. People could have been killed. And people are going there with families, with small children. Like, this is totally unacceptable. And I feel like there's no passion or love for your country and your team that can justify any of these fucking actions. And it really, I mean, I feel ashamed because in a way I feel like Latin people from Colombia, from Argentina, I feel them like kind of my brothers, you know? I mean, I'm Venezuelan and that's where I feel more close to, but everybody from South America especially, like I feel like, we're kind of sort of in the same boat, And to see this happen, it's fucked. So I know it's a minority. I know most Colombians and most Argentinians are beautiful, amazing people. I have many friends. I like cocaine and I like barbecue. Not in that order specifically, but
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, me neither. It just came to me.
Great.
So what I'm trying to say is, fucking behave, man. Fucking behave. Because the World Cup is in 2 years. It's in the U.S. as well. What's gonna happen?
Do you think they should take Miami away as a host city? Would that be too extreme?
You think people behave a lot better in the rest of the stadiums?
For some reason, it seems like it because to the game I went to, people were behaved to a certain degree, except those two fighting. But
Were there other games in Miami in the Copa America?
in Copa, yes, I think there were three in total.
Because keep in mind, the problem is also this is the final, right? So,
Right.
so
But do you think this would have happened if it was like, I don't know, Venezuela and Uruguay?
uh, I would like to think not. I would like to think Venezuelans wouldn't behave this way, but I mean, that's
No, that's
they could
we've
very well.
seen.
I mean, Miami is filled with Venezuelans, so it could very well be that they do some shit like this. I mean, I don't think we're above that. Unfortunately, I would like to think that we wouldn't do it, but
I
yeah.
just want to know what went wrong. Like, what was, take me to that point where this dude was like, you know what, let's jump the fence or let's go through the vents. Like, I
Well,
want to go to
it's
that period.
premeditated. Like a bunch of people go and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go there, see if I can buy a ticket," and then try to sneak
But
in.
when I was young, I had people who would joke around like that, and I don't remember them doing that shit. Would it? Do you think it just started like a joke? It's like we'll go over there, we'll jump the fence, and we'll get in, and then it was a joke that became something more
I
serious.
mean, if you're going there, how is it gonna be a joke? That place is kind of far away. I don't think there's like a bar that you can go to nearby. So if you're going, you're committed to getting in, and
Because
that's a
what I was
problem.
thinking is like maybe people went for the tailgate, a lot of people, and they just tailgated before, had their brewskis and their parrilla,
Parisha, ¿viste? Che, boludo.
el
Um,
asado.
It's yeah, because I understand the tailgating part. I don't know, man. I don't know what went wrong, but
Yeah.
this is not a good look. People from outside are comparing the Euro Cup organization with the Copa America, and unfortunately, you can tell one of them is like going to Disney, and one of them is going to like the state fair, and that's not a good look. We want to bring a good look to the world. We want people to be like, hey, man, I like the people that speak the Spanish. They behave good, they do the thing, and right now we're not giving that look. Okay. Thankfully, there weren't any fights after the game from what I was able to see. Because normally, when there are, you quickly get them in your feed, right? Social medias are quick to show you any violence and negative shit that's happening. So it seems that nothing like that happened. People just left, in peace after the game. Argentina won. Very, very tight game. I don't know if for like an American audience they would have enjoyed it because it was 0-0 for 2 hours. But it was very competitive. If you like football, you would have enjoyed it because it was very tight, very fought game on both ends. And then finally, Argentina won with a beautiful game right before the extended time ended. So right before they would have gone to penalties, which I don't like. I don't like a game that ends in penalties because it feels like you never really know who won.
I think I'm in the minority there.
Oh yeah.
I kind of like the PKs. I like the penalty kicks. There's like an added twist, an added feeling into it. So I'm for it. I'm not for it like right after the 90 minutes though.
Which
Like
they
they did in
did in
some
some
other games.
games in Copa
Yeah.
America, which was different. And that's the thing, right? They play around with formats in some of these competitions and change things. So, for example, for people that might not know too much about it, in football or soccer, you have the 90 minutes, so it's two times of 45 minutes each, two sections. And then if they're still tied, you go to extra time. And then after the extra time, if they're still tied, then you go to penalties, which is, PK, penalty kicks. I mean, is it fun to watch a penalty kick shootout? Yeah, it's fun. It makes it like a lottery, but also
It's also fun when it's not your team.
yeah, it's fun when it's not your team. It just sucks to lose on penalties. Now,
Yeah.
if it's a situation where the teams are 2-1 and right before the game ends, somebody scores and ties it 2-2 and then you go to penalties, that's like a little more enjoyable.
Yeah, it depends if it's like a 0-0.
But if it's just 0-0 boring till the end and then penalties, then it seems like it's bad. So thankfully, the final, especially, I don't like when finals go to penalty kicks. I like the finals to end with a definite, sort of goal that beats the other team, and that's what happened here. It was a beautiful goal from Argentina. Some people say that when Messi left the game, Argentina started playing better. Do you think that's the case? Do you think Messi is, he's
Messi is messy.
he's,
Like
he's messy. He's messy
he's messy.
or missing.
Maybe he can be missing. I think he's at an age where he's like enjoying his time in Miami and retire or take it slow. Why not?
Like I think this Copa America he kind of won for free.
Yeah, for
know what I
free.
mean?
Okay, he didn't do much throughout.
Yeah,
it.
like he's like, hey, I'm
He had
still.
only one goal.
Do you think after this, fuck? I mean, we're talking mad shit about Messi. I mean, Messi is probably the greatest player, but yeah, I mean, everybody ages, you know. Do you think he makes it to the next World Cup in 2 years?
I want to say yes, but I saw like a reserved,
I
come
mean,
in sub.
he for sure is gonna be taken as a reserve, even if he doesn't play, which I think he will. They will put a few minutes, just so that he could get another cup, right?
And then
but
make him the best.
But I don't see him.
bestest.
I don't see him being like the star of the World Cup like he was 2 years ago.
Yeah. You're
Right?
right.
I
I don't
that
think
he-
so either.
But obviously, yeah, bring him. But anyways, that's a lot of football talk for the people.
How old
yeah.
would he be though?
How old? I think he's gonna be because he's 34 now, maybe, or 35.
No, he's 37. He just turned 37.
Damn, he's gonna be almost 40. God damn. Yeah, bro, you gotta
41.
you gotta start drinking your little weed juices and
Well, it's 2 years. 39. He'll be 39. Damn.
that's old. In the football world, that's old.
Yeah.
Look, I wanted to ask you about something that I've been seeing recently. I like Facebook, right? I'm still like an old school guy. And when I go on Facebook, but this happens in every social media, there's these videos that you look at them and you're like, who the fuck makes these videos? Like, let me give you an example.
Like this camera.
Yeah, like this kind of, like a white lady saying, "Oh, I'm making great Mexican food for my family," and she uses all these shit ingredients and makes like a nasty ass, whatever platter of beans, casserole, whatever the fuck, and it sucks, right? Like you can tell it sucks. And the thing is, I always saw these videos and I'm like, this person cannot be making these videos for real. Like I don't see how this person makes this video and is doing it seriously. Like they have to be doing it as a troll because they know people are gonna engage. And then I found the word that I was looking for so long. It's called engagement farming. So what this is literally what I was thinking that these people are doing. People make content that is going to be cringy to some people and it's going to make them want to comment to criticize it. So you purposely, for example, make somebody say, look at my amazing carbonara, and they do it a shit job. Like I saw one recently of a carbonara and it ended up being like scrambled eggs. For people that know a little bit about the kitchen like I do in Chef Maurice, you will know that to make a carbonara, you cannot fully cook the egg. You're not cooking it. You're just warming it up a bit so that it makes the sauce for the carbonara. If you heat it up too much, it gets cooked, it becomes scrambled eggs. Now you have a, Asian plate instead than a pasta. So this person was showing how to make a carbonara, and in the video, they heat up the egg too much and make it scrambled. So everybody's commenting, are you insane? That's not a fucking carbonara. That's a fucking scrambled egg pasta. What the fuck? And I'm like, this person knows what they're doing. So there's a bunch of channels that make a lot of money creating content that's purposely cringy and stupid because they know it will create a lot of people commenting. And then you have people commenting like, why are you criticizing? She's just a poor mom trying to feed the kids. And then somebody's like, shut the fuck up. That's a disgrace to Mexican food. And it's like, wow, bro.
That person did it.
Engagement farming. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate it.
Well,
I hate it.
what can we do to do that?
I don't know, but I'm trying to see how the fuck we can do some engagement farming ourselves, because we're trying to grow here. I had a friend giving me tips the other day. He's like, bro, you gotta do like reaction videos. Let's react to, the Wilkins sisters dancing. Oh my God. But I mean, like, apparently that's what people like. Some like shitty ass, non original thing. But we give them the genuine. We give them the fire shit here with the blurry camera, and they don't like it. They don't stay.
It's a brand new camera.
It's a brand new camera.
We're trying new things here.
Yeah, we have lighting now, but it's still a work in progress. It's getting adapted to the new scenery. But I like the bookshelf in the background, the little chimney.
Chimney.
The fireplace.
The chimney.
The chimney. All right. Well, what do you think about is there content, for example, in TikTok? I know you're more of a TikTok consumer. Do you see a lot of this content that's like that, or is it? Tell me about it. Like, what examples have you seen?
I mainly see it in cooking videos. I think my TikTok is like farmed. The algorithm has gotten into the cooking part of me, so now it shows me either very good cooks or very good recipes, and then very shitty ones that sometimes I fall for it. Like, this has to be true, right? But then you see the comments. I usually don't leave comments. I never leave comments, but sometimes I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Sometimes I would like to write that. But no, I mean, yeah, you see it a lot in the cooking ones, because I feel like that's a cultural thing. Why are you going to fuck up my plate? Why are you going to fuck up my chimichangas or my carbonara?
Yeah, but I think it's not even like they purposely do it wrong.
Right, they purposely do it wrong, and then the people leaving the comments, that's where that person kind of wins. I got your comment, I got your engagement.
In the same way, the people you subscribe to, that you follow, aren't the content that the social medias are giving you. What they're giving you is what they feel, based on their data, is going to make you engage more for longer. And that does not necessarily mean that that's going to be the content that you like the most. Because I found out there's this disconnect between what you like most and what you will spend looking at most. And those things, although it will seem like they will be the same thing, it isn't. Right? Like, the things that I like most, I might watch them for a certain amount of time. But then there's other shit that I might not necessarily like, but because it's negative and toxic, it might make me engage and stay looking at it more, but for the negative reasons, for the wrong reasons. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I feel like there's this disconnect happening now with media, where you are consuming a lot of things that you don't like, but for some reason you spend time more on it than shit that you do like. Do you see this happening, for example, with you when you consume TikTok?
Probably when I see like a lot of political things that I'm not really into. So yeah. I fell into the police responding to calls.
Wow.
TikTok, and I fell in that world for a little while, and then I wanted to stop. It was an itch.
It just shows how the cops are bad type shit.
Yeah, maybe they respond in a good way, and you're like, oh, they did good finally, and then they respond in a very harsh way with no, real intention or real goodness behind it. So you see a little bit of both, but I've been wanting to get away of that. I'm more into like the happy TikToks. Show me some people. Show me like a group of kids dancing. I don't know, like doing their what?
What?
Their play at the end of the year, like something that fills my heart with love.
You like more like a heartwarming content.
Yeah, I'm more into that now. I'm like, there's a lot of bad and sad shit going on. Show me something better.
Okay.
Show me how you do your music. I've seen this guy who kind of goes outside and he does songs and beats to that person who sits down. in that minute. Like he comes up with it right away, and it's kind of fun and interesting. Show me more stuff like that. Show me your talents.
Show me your.
Talents.
You know, the other day I heard somebody say something very similar to this. He was saying that people, like when you see somebody online that reviews computers or reviews technical gadgets, you would think naturally the people that are gonna consume that content are people that are looking to buy that gadget and they want to find out, okay, and that's actually a very small percentage. Most people that watch it aren't gonna buy the gadget, but they like, and it's entertaining for them how this person describes and explains how this gadget works and what's the value on it. So the sort of conclusion of it was that people like nerds explaining their nerdy things. And that hit with me. That landed. I'm like, oh, fuck. That's so true. Like, look, I'm not a huge baseball guy, right? But we started watching the Japanese team in the World Cup. And I mean, you already watch sports, but I started watching it more. And then I started watching this YouTube channel of a guy that's really into baseball and explains like little details of the baseball lore and shit. And I'm like, fuck, I like that nerd guy explaining his nerdy things to me. And the same way I like someone else that's like into bicycles and he explains how he fixes them and then I like a guy that fixes fucking watches or a guy like, and then you realize, and this is why I have faith in the podcast, is that I think people at the end of the day are gonna navigate towards things that are genuine and real. And it doesn't necessarily mean they need to like whatever theme you have, but they like the way that you present and convey the information, whatever it is, right? Like I said, it could be you're not even into computers, but you like the way this guy speaks about computers and shows you to you. So, I don't know. I just thought it was like a breath of fresh air to hear that, okay, I think there is some room for this good content to come back again. But we are going through some dark times, which is this short reel culture. Which, I mean, we're putting out reels every day on TikTok, on YouTube, Instagram. Please follow us, the Broski Doodles. We're everywhere. But do we prefer people listening long form? Yeah, that's where you really get the knowledge. That's how you really grow. And I think we live in a world where not as many people are doing that. But yeah, you're still blurry. Your camera seems to be working fine. But I think this way people can also see your silhouette, and they can connect on a more like internal sense. Like, oh look, I don't see you, so I connect more with your feelings. Do you think that could be?
That could be a thing.
You know?
Maybe I just need to speak louder to the mic.
Okay, so you compensate.
I don't know.
Yes, I think people want that. Because there's people that are listening to the audio. They're like, oh, I don't even see the blurry thing. I just want this guy in my ear, and I want to feel him, close.
I want to feel you.
Yes, I like that.
I want to feel you.
Yep, that's great. I think people that are like, for example, taking a jog right now,
right?
You get a little tickling in the taint.
Show me your sweat.
Now that's getting a little more like pedophilia type shit, but then, I mean, that's a little more creepy.
Let me smell you.
Hey,
we're trying new things.
Quick thing. Did you watch the documentary about the Dutch guy that donated semen to more than like 1,000 women worldwide?
I started watching it, and I still missing the last episode.
Bro, it's crazy because this is a crazy fuck that was donating semen in a bunch of donor banks, but then he also was doing it through like Craigslist. Like, hey, whoever needs a little cup, let me know. I got you. And he would even tell them, do you want it the natural way? Which means we have sex. Yeah.
That's what blew my mind. Like the guy was just like having all sex with all these lesbian couples or couples who couldn't have kids,
Or single moms.
single moms.
So for people that don't know,
Oof.
there's this documentary on Netflix about a guy that's like like a super donor, but not in a good way. Like he was just donating so much sperm that they say about they don't even know the real number, but it could be like 1,000 or 15,000 kids worldwide that he has.
Well, do you remember that part where they were explaining how from one sample you can have 15 different babies?
Right.
So this guy was donating everywhere.
Yeah, and there was not like
Netherlands.
there was not a database worldwide, so he could just continue to donate. But then he also was doing it on a person to person basis. So like he would just write in a website like, "Hey, I got that semen on deck," and then
I
they
kind
would,
of left off at the end of episode 2 where they showed the other person who's also helping him. So it was two guys doing this, and then one of them could be known to have more than 450 kids. But it's just it's just crazy.
did you get to the part? So pretty much this guy meets another guy that's also a super donor, and they have this sick minded like ambition of being like, I don't know, Genghis Khan, and like procreating as much as possible, some shit like that. So what they did, dude, they became friends. And when a new lady would ask the blonde guy for some sperm, he would put his sperm along with his friend's sperm on the cup and give it to her and sort of like, hey, Russian roulette, let's see which sperm wins type shit. Like, bro, blew my mind.
Yeah,
That's not cool. Super fucked up. I mean, it's now this is the thing. It was very difficult to charge the person because in the Netherlands they didn't really have a law that sort of prohibited you from donating. But this is the thing. If you're donating outside of sperm banks and doing it in an illegal way because you're supposed to follow the regulations which say if you're donating in the sperm bank, you cannot donate anywhere else, and he's not doing so. What's the difference between being a donor and being a father? It's
I'm
like
guessing
there's a
you don't
thin
have that
line.
physical connection. But this guy, according to the documentary, he had contact with some of his children's
Yeah, I mean
in
that
the
was part of like
Netherlands.
the perks that the women sometimes wanted the guy to have some connection, which I think is weird. I think it's even weirder if you have like a half dad, like hey, you're gonna be my dad, but just for 1 week in a year. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that I think there's an argument to be made that you could prosecute this person for irresponsibly fathering hundreds of kids and not taking care of them, for example, because in the U.S. you need to pay child support if there's a kid that you have with some women and you're not living with them, right?
But I think when you're donating, I think it doesn't apply, right?
Yeah, it is true when you donate in an institution that's following guidelines,
Right,
you
right.
you give up that responsibility because you're doing it through this format. But what happens when he's selling it on Craigslist? That doesn't apply there.
Right.
Who's to say that when he sells it on Craigslist to some lady for $50, who's to say that he shouldn't be responsible for that kid? You know what I mean? So, I mean, I just think it's fucked up on many ways, and you start to realize the crazy nuts that live in the world that have these weird ass ambitions. And obviously, the problem with this is that if you have many kids that have the same father that don't know it and they live in the same area, they could have relationships, and that's incest. And even though
I
that's a common practice in Alabama, it isn't recommended because you could have kids that have issues.
I kind of wish the guy would have shown up. I know that after episode 1, they're like, "Oh, we reach out to Jonathan for comments or to be in the documentary," and he declined. I kind of wish he was there because I wanna hear his answers. Now I want to hear what he has to think about this.
The classic Netflix camera turns to him. He's like, "Is everything right? Okay, cut. Yeah. I can't stop jerking off." The guy starts. I
But
just
then
can't.
that's a you have a problem You can call it a I don't know, masturbation problem, a
No, man,
sexual problem.
No, man, that's not the problem. He's not. The problem wasn't masturbating. The problem is that he was irresponsibly conscious of doing this irresponsible practice. Like the whole reason why donor banks only want to use your sperm for up to 5 children is specifically so that you reduce the risk of incest. So and you know this because they tell you when you donate, like, oh, this is like the reason why we do this. So if you go outside and make it your mission to donate as much sperm as possible, and not even there's no responsible way to do it, but he was doing it within a small town in the Netherlands at one point, where there's hundreds of kids in that little town that have his DNA. So that's like so fucked, man. So I don't know. I think this, yeah.
No, I was gonna say when I was watching it at the beginning, I'm like, maybe he's doing it for money, because you know that in the U.S. when you go to donations, they kind of pay you. I don't know how much. Hopefully a lot, maybe. But anyways, I thought he was doing it for money, and then later on you understand that he wasn't doing it for that. Like they don't. Certainly, he doesn't do it for the money, because I think the ones he does through the Craigslist. I think he just wanted to help families. That was his answer.
Yeah, he never did it for the money. He did it for the fuck of it. And then he had these weird blogs where he was weird as fuck.
Traveling. But I think it is mentioned that certain places or certain countries, they pay for you to go there and donate a certain amount of time. I don't remember if it was like Australia or...
No, I think it was like Thailand or some shit. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. But to him, it was just like an extra because he wouldn't ask for the women to give him money. So I think it was just for him to his real
to get off.
Yeah, his real intent was, I'm fathering a bunch of people. My legacy will live.
Will live on. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it's scary. It's scary how people can cause damage in so many ways.
Also, it's interesting how fertile he is.
Yeah.
That shit works on everything.
I mean, we gotta be honest. The dude is good at what he does.
Yeah. I gotta give him that.
Yeah,
well, he's good. The thing is that when you're watching it, and then they start introducing the YouTube channel that he has, at least I didn't think anything of the travel in until they're like, right, this guy's in Mexico. He's donating in Mexico.
And you know what's
in Argentina.
And you know what's fucked up is that in some of these third world countries, his sperm was specifically demanded because it's like this blonde guy, blue eyes. So some people want that. That they want that mix. They want that vanilla ice cream type shit.
But it's crazy that it didn't cross my mind that he was traveling and also donating.
Yeah, he was.
So this guy has. You have to think he has more than 1,000 for sure.
I want to think what's the nutrition you have to be able to continue to have a constant use. A serum that's really gonna be, capable.
How many times a day do you think he releases?
I would assume that he would not release unless it's necessary, so that you could keep, the tank full.
Right, but if you're donating it, let's say you're doing it in these banks that kind of pay you to do this.
I don't think you can go every day, but I would assume.
No, but they're like, oh, you're here for 4 days. You gotta jerk off 4 days and give us kids.
Yeah, I mean, what they do is they tie you down to a chair, and they put a machine in your penis, and it continues to jerk you off for 4 days straight. Even when you finish, it continues to go. So after the second coming, it now becomes painful. But you do it for the kids, literally.
Yeah, you do it for the fam.
For the fam. Okay. Well, talking about the fam, I want to thank all the fam that listens to us, that subscribe to us. It really means a lot when you leave comments, and it really helps us if you fucking rate us on iTunes and Spotify, because that really makes the audio podcast climb higher.
Maybe if we get more ratings, we get paid a little bit, and then we can have a better camera.
Yeah, we can get better camera, we can get better lighting. Yeah, I mean, there's, all of this is possible through the people that love
our paychecks
and support. Damn. All depending on the
back.
people that
Hi.
support us. Oh, look. Right on time
Right
for
when
the
we
end
needed
of
it the most.
But yeah, if you have any topics you want us to hit, leave them on the comments. We're very engaging. We're farmers of the engagement. And yeah, much love to all of you. Love you. Chef Maurice, peace out. Take care. Keep it real. Keep it against.